iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, to the hills, in the Irish Hills, we should say, of Michigan, here at the Michigan International Speedway. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for the Red Light Racing Series is here tonight with the 1987 Winston Cup cars. They have made it through, well, their regular season. They have been to the tracks like the Atlanta Motor Speedway, North Wilkesboro, Nashville, Pocono, Iowa, Darlington, to the Watkins Glen International Road Course, along with Dover, Kansas, and last week's wild finish at Talladega. This now starts the chase for the Championship Cup. It's the round of 12 plus 2 here tonight as 2 drivers that were below the 12-car field had wins, so they were in by default for their wins here this season. So 14 drivers have made it here to the first round of the playoffs. We'll race here tonight at Michigan, and then 1 week from now, we will head out to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway before we cut things down to just 8 drivers to compete at Phoenix and Texas before we cut the field once again to go to Martinsville. Well, when you look back through the history books, if you're a red light racing fanatic, you know I like to talk about the history of NASCAR. Well, when the NASCAR Cup Series, it was the Winston Cup Series, came here to the hills of Irish Hills, Michigan, well, it was the awesome man from Dawsonville. It was Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. The Bill Elliott machine, number 9, went to victory lane with the famous Intimidator Dale Earnhardt in second. But the question being, who finished third that day on August the 16th of 1987? Well, it was none other than Morgan Shepherd. Well, that was kind of an underdog. Who will be the underdog here tonight as these drivers, 30 of them, will battle here with 14 drivers that have put themselves into the playoffs. Qualifying is already done, and this is how the lineup will look here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series. Round number 1 here for the playoffs here in Michigan. This is your starting lineup. Starting on the front row, driving car 01 out of the Full Throttle Racing Adventure in Pixels, this is Richard Murdoch. To his outside, they must have been practicing because it's the man down the street. The number 86 of James Skelton will roll off P number 2, while the Storm from the north, out of Canada, driving car number 42 here tonight, Max Terrill will start 3rd. DJ Anderson will start 4th here tonight, while the Alien, number 64 of Jason Wells, will roll from 5th. 6th here tonight will go to the 88 of Sean Butler, while Blaine Timmons in the 923 will go 7th. Michael Trevarthen, last week's winner at Talladega, will start 8th here tonight. Zach Mitchell will go 9th. Chris Hammett will start in the 10th position. Starting back into the 11th spot, it's car number 11 out of Ayer, Massachusetts, Sean Single. Starting 12th will be the 62 of Ethan Troutman. Dave Bragg, driving car number 31 here tonight, will start 13th, while Rob Higgins in the Higgins Hill Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 will go 14th. Tim Williams in the Ref Esports BK Paints number 45 will go 15th. Tim Combs in car number 17 will go 16th. 17th will go to the driver out of Ontario, Canada, driving car number 38. This is the Beefy Motorsports number 38 of Brandon Feedy. Starting 19th, it's, well, the number 61 of Dalton Williamson. There ain't much really to say about the youngster of Dalton Williamson. Starting there in 19th spot here tonight, driving car number 4, this is Jeffrey Souza. Joe Shrano of the Shrano Brothers Racing number 43 Road Rage Accessories car will start there in P number 20. 21st will go to the Full Throttle Racing Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 of Ryan Aldani. Cold Peppers Bakery and Cafe number 14 of Ryan Bianchi will go 22nd here tonight on the starting lineup. Starting 23rd, it's Philly Edwards. In the 973, he'll start 23rd. Granny Hips. Joshua Buckley will start car 13 and 24th, while Travis Minto will drive car 19 here tonight. He'll start 25th. Bruce Potter in 26th. Kevin O'Brien in the 184 will go 27th. 28th, then we'll go to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 30 of Bob Higgins. Tony Strano will go then in the 29th position here tonight, while Brandon Minto will start dead last. Shotgun to the field, and he's got a beer he is shotgunning. I can tell you, race fans, that here tonight. But tonight's race is brought to us by our friends over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, located in Ayer, Massachusetts, over on Park Street. It's a locally owned business by the Higgins family, and of course they have the very knowledgeable staff at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, so if you're ever up there in Ayer, Massachusetts, make sure to stop by. They have brake pads, rotors, shocks, struts, body parts for your car to stay out onto the road. Whether it's motor work, transmission work, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, they have the parts that can keep your car running. They even have the air freshener to keep that car smelling good while it's looking good. But these cars here tonight, 30 of them, are out here looking good. Will all 30 of them be looking strong at the end of the 65 laps scheduled here tonight at Michigan? There's your 2 leaders. It will be the Adventure in Pixel 01 of Richard Murdoch and the Flowertown Animal Hospital number 86 of James Skelton to his outside. Coming into the green flag zone here tonight, put 65 laps up on the board, and let's see if we can get these 1987 Winston Cup machines up through the 4-speed H-pattern gearbox as we are green here at Michigan. Murdoch and Skelton still side by side through 1. The question being, who will lead off turn number 2? It'll be Murdoch and the Adventure in Pixels Chevrolet as he leads down the back straightaway, but for how long? Here comes Skelton. Skelton's got the crossover move out of turn number 2 as he works the inside. Here comes the 42 of Max Terrell and also James Skelton now the bottom side. Can he hold down those bias ply tires on his 1987 Chevrolet here tonight? At the line to lead lap number 1, who will it be? Dead drag race, dead heat at the line. Give the bonus point to Richard Murdoch. So Murdoch will lead lap number 1 here tonight. So with him leading lap number 1, can Skelton work the bottom side? He is this time down in 1 and 2. It looks like he'll have a great run down the back straightaway. New race leader here on lap number 2. Give it to the 86 of James Skelton. So Murdoch going to drop back 1 spot since we've gone green flag racing. He's got DJ Anderson right there also. But look at the 86. Skelton going to overshoot the corner. He'll give up the bottom side of the speedway. So the race lead goes right back to Richard Murdoch. Murdoch trying to lead lap number 2, but it doesn't look like it's quite going to get there, as it actually is going to be James Skelton who leads lap number 2 here tonight. Battle for the race lead. Max Terrell also throwing his hand into the mix here. James Skelton still leading down the back straightaway here. Murdoch still hot to trot. Take a look at the timing and scoring. The cars that are lit up in blue here tonight on your scoring, they are your championship contenders here tonight. So they are the drivers that we will watch here very closely tonight to see where they are all running. Right now, your top 10, top 11 are actually littered with championship drivers. Skelton still continuing to lead the way. There it is off the back deck lid of car number 86 as he works down the back straightaway. It's Skelton, it's Anderson, it's Murdoch, Wells, Terrell, your top 5. Butler trying to work his way up into the top 5. Now here comes the 88, working the outside lane. He's pushing the 64 of Wells. Your all-time win leader of Sean Butler only picking up 1 win this season and putting himself into a playoff contention. Trying to get around Murdoch. Murdoch back there, down on the bottom side. Losing spots as he's got that 42 of Max Terrell right there pushing him. Here comes last week's winner, the number 2. That is going to be Michael Trevarthen as he works the outside of the speedway in his Ford Thunderbird. This time by, we're going to complete lap 5 here. James Skelton and Richard Murdoch, the only 2 drivers who have led laps here tonight at Michigan. The rest of the field, you see him back there. That's car number 6, Chris Hammond. He's side by side with the DuPont Chevrolet. Car number 24, that is Zach Mitchell. Mitchell works the outside of the speedway. There's the 45 of Tim Williams. Williams trying to go down to the bottom side here. Seeing if he can get a run around the 24. Last week, Tim Williams picking up his first ever podium finish here with Red Light Racing on Monday night. Seeing if he can have another great run here tonight. Trying to go under that STP, the famous number 43. That is Joe Strano here tonight. Race leader off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Still James Skelton out front. You see everybody now is starting to go into the single file formation. You still got to go back to Joe Strano and Tim Williams as they are still doing the side-by-side jig here tonight. The Irish jig, I guess you could say, here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Joe Strano's got the outside momentum. Will he be able to keep that momentum up in his Chevrolet here? Or will the Platinum RV and Services, number 45 of Tim Williams, be able to take that spot? They also got Dave Bragg back there. That's he told me here tonight, his main goal coming into Monday nights is just to be able to beat his buddy of Brandon Feeney anytime he comes out onto the racetrack. And well, right now he is exactly doing that because Brandon Feeney's back there into the 23rd position. Way back there, there's that Liquid Molly, red, white, and blue Canadian flag number 38. Back behind Joshua Buckley right now. So good racing all over the place. It is, though, James Skelton, DJ Anderson, and Jason Wells, your top 3 drivers. As there they are, down into turn number 1. A huge gap over, I believe that's the 42 of Max Terrell there in car number 42, the black one behind the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. Yellow flag coming out onto the Speedway. I believe something has happened to the number 24 of Zach Mitchell to bring out the first caution flag here tonight. The driver out of Minnesota having a problem. Maybe spilled his mini soda. I know, I write my own dad jokes. They're pretty funny, aren't they? Have to take a look back here and see what happened to bring the first caution flag of the evening out here on lap number 8 for Zach Mitchell, who is running up inside the top 10 at the time of the yellow flag. Oh, looks like he got an old bump and run from the 43 of Joe Strano. Strano will get, and playoff contender. Car number 4 there of Jeffrey Souza was right there. Right on board with the 4 of Souza. You hear him trying to back her down, and then he doesn't know where he's going to end up. And unfortunately, I believe there was a car to his outside. That was the 40 of Rob Higgins. Right on board here's with Zach Mitchell. Lifts going into the corner, gets the old chrome horn from the 43. And there you see the contact to the 4 of Souza. We'll see if he comes down to pit road. He's still out there circling. We'll see as pit road will be open this time by. Anybody coming to pit road? Looks like they all will come to pit road for tires here under the first caution flag of the evening. All 30 machines lurking to come down pit road. So spec 4 tires and fuel for all these drivers here. Hot and heavy into the pit stall. There goes the 42 of Max Terra. And he'll actually roll past his pit stall. Slid right through it. Had to back up. Richard Murdoch also very slow coming to pit road. There you see the 24 of Mitchell coming down pit road very slowly, trying to nurse his car back. Drag race off pit road, though, will go to the 86 of James Skelton, DJ Anderson, Jason Wells, and then Sean Butler. Looks like 2 tire stops for those drivers, 4 tire stops for the rest of the field. Brandon Feeney going to take 2 tires. Actually, he'll pick up about 12 spots on pit road. So a lot of varying strategies through the field here to possibly pick up some track position here in the early goings. We are going to be 10 laps completed into tonight's race out of the 65 scheduled in round number 1 for the chase for the championship. James Skelton and Richard Murdoch, the only 2 race leaders here so far tonight. See everybody catching back up to the field here. Let's take see if we can grab a quick word in with the driver of that number 24 of Zach Mitchell. Zach, it's Muth up here on the booth. You got a copy with us?
I do, sir.
Well, you're coming out of pit road here. How much damage was done to the 24 here, and will it be still competitive here at this big track at Michigan?
I only had about 30 seconds or so. Part of that's from slapping the wall in the first lap. Got kind of careless trying to get to the outside of a couple guys, but I don't think it's too bad. Wasn't too bad after I hit the wall, but I don't think I got hit very hard on the spin, so should be okay. Now I maybe try to do a little strategy. Passing's not very easy, so I might try to stretch out a fuel run or something and see if I can gain some spots here.
You came into the night as one of the drivers that everybody was looking at, one of the last drivers that got into the championship chase here. Is it really going to be pulling something out of the hat here tonight to try and get a good finish now after you will restart, it looks like, back to about the maybe 29th position?
Yeah, unless there's a couple big wrecks. I don't think passing's not very easy. You try to throw it down on the bottom of somebody, especially with the worn tires. It doesn't like to keep the momentum up, and the person on the outside kind of gets back by you, but... So I think I'll just do what I said. I think I'll try to do a fuel strategy run or something and see what happens.
Well, good luck here tonight, and we'll see if we can talk to you at the end of this one.
Sounds good. Thanks, Roger.
So he's going to try and maybe roll the dice here, play the strategy tonight, and see if he can get things done here. We'll keep an eye and watch the number 24 of Zach Mitchell here as he will restart. Looks like right now back into the 30th position possibly, as DJ Anderson will lead us to green flag here when the iRacing.com pace car does decide to make its way to pit road. There it goes to pit road. This time by, we will drop the hammer once again. Skelton, Anderson, Butler, and Wells, your top 4 drivers here when we come back into the restart. Green flag back up, and here we go. Problems on the restart there for one driver. I believe that was Bruce Potter and Zach Mitchell getting involved in that also. So the caution flag will come back out immediately here for Bruce Potter, Tony Strano, Brian Bianchi, all getting involved in that one to bring out the second caution flag right away here tonight. Watch it back. Looked like the 59 of Bruce Potter just possibly missed a gear, and the 14 of Brian Bianchi right into the back of Bruce Potter. You can hear it trying to find the gear, can't find the gear. Bianchi's there, and oh boy, the 24 of Zach Mitchell, pretty heavy damage there. There you see the Bianchi machine also going around to the infield grass. Tony Strano also involved in this one too. See Strano already down on the grass there and trying to gather it up, and actually does a really good job, stays off the inside wall. So as that puts us under our second caution flag of the evening here in the first handful of laps tonight here at Michigan. These drivers now will go into a conserve mode here, especially for your race leaders of DJ Anderson and James Skelton. It actually does look like it is going to score DJ Anderson just slightly ahead there as the new race leader. So he will take over the race lead now. So it'll be Anderson, Skelton, Butler, and Wells. That's how they should line up. Everybody's still trying to catch up to the official iRacing.com safety car. So everybody going to see where they're going to be lining up officially here from our scores tonight. So we told you about some of the drivers that are locked into the championship chase. Of course, DJ Anderson is one of them. He is now the new race leader, the driver out of Virginia. Has that Mountain Dew Baja Blast, very famous for driving the Mountain Dew Baja Blast here on Monday night with Red Light Racing, and he now has the race lead. Remember, he is also one of the drivers that only took 2 tires, along with Skelton, along with Butler, along with Wells. They all took 2 tires. Brandon Feeney also in that mix. And while they took 2 tires to get out ahead of all the chaos, the Zach Mitchell, we talked to him just a couple moments ago, was going to have to try something here tonight, and hopefully to stay out of trouble. We went back racing, though, and he was not able to stay out of trouble, got wrapped up in that wreck. So the driver out of Minnesota now going to have to really try to rebound here and see if he can kind of turn that around now tonight, because he's going to be buried back into the field once again. There you see Bob Higgins, Tony Strano coming out of pit road. Tony Strano was involved in that last incident. He did have to go down onto the grass here to get around some of the carnage that was out there. There you see the number 3 of Tony Strano. Tony Strano and Joe Strano, 2 very active members here with Red Light Racing, and 2 characters in their own right. That is, well, I guess that's an understatement. It's always Tony's fault, is what Joe tells me. And then Joe also goes along to tell me that he is also the better brother, but then, well, Tony always has to fire back with, well, he's Mom's favorite. So I think Mom's out there tuning in tonight. Maybe she'll be able to tell us which one of the, well, I guess we really shouldn't put Mom in that position. She loves them both equal is what they would tell me. Equal, like what we're going to do here on the restart here. We're lining back up 2 by 2 and let them fly off into corner number 1 here tonight. If we do get a lot of green flag racing here tonight, speeds will be upward of 200 plus miles an hour down the front straightaway here at Michigan, because it's a very long 2-mile super speedway per se here at the Michigan International Speedway. Right now, the biggest mover of the race is car number 38 of Brandon Feeney. He'll restart back there in the 6th position. Of course, we've touched on Zach Mitchell's woes here tonight. He will be the farthest back in the field driver. He has lost 18 spots here tonight. He is back out onto the raceway, but it's going to take a lot of, well, trying here tonight to get back up into a good, solid position. He is the farthest back runner of the championship 14 drivers. Bruce Potter looks like he's going to bring car number 59. The driver out of Alabama will rejoin the track here tonight. Looks like the field trying to gather it back up here. The lights are out on the official iRacing.com pace car, so we will go green this time by when they come out of turn number 4. Everybody you see tightening it up here, trying to get a good restart. It'll be DJ Anderson, the control car, to the outside. Does have to actually wait for the green flag. Can't jump it here. Green is back in the air. There we go. A great restart as they come back up through the old clunky H patterns. The 1987 Winston Cup machines will roar back into turn number 1. Anderson going to take a big arc in car 51 to see if he can get a good run down the back straightaway. Right now, here comes, though, James Skelton in the Flowertown Animal Hospital, number 86. He'll be able to pull even down the back straightaway. One car sideways off turn number 2. That was the 14 of Brian Bianchi. One car getting turned around. That's the 11 car. Sean Single down to the inside. He collects the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. No caution flag coming out as both drivers spinning down to the apron here tonight. So a very rough start. Troutman, one of those drivers in the championship 14, along with Sean Single. Now that's 3 championship drivers that have all had problems here. Well, let's take a look back. They say they have that one already queued for us. Take a look at this incident. There's the 45 of Williams down to the inside of the 11, and the 11 gets bumped by the 43 of Joe Strano, and while the 11 car goes around, Ethan Troutman nowhere to go. There you see him in car number 62. He goes around. Rejoin the action live here, though, is still going to be DJ Anderson as the race leader. Everybody else has, well, strung themselves out. Your top 5 is your best battles on the Speedway. The 88 of Sean Butler working the outside of the 01 of Richard Murdoch. And here comes Brandon Feeney. He's been able to hang strong right there. Not letting anybody get away from him with that liquid moly machine. Murdoch down to the bottom side here of the 88. Everybody still slipping and sliding. A lot of weight to these 1987 machines. A lot of weight, a lot of horsepower here tonight. Down the back straightaway at 193 miles per hour. So with DJ Anderson, he'll exit corner number 4 to come back around here, leading Jason Wells. Skelton going to slide up there right in front of the 88. It will be, though, DJ Anderson as he comes down into the corner. Look like about 200 miles an hour even. But look at Wells. Wells goes to the outside sideways for the 86 of Skelton. He is hanging on to it. Look at Feeney. He'll dive down to the bottom side to try and get around the 88 of Butler. Butler had to lift off the accelerator. Had to give up a little momentum there to try and help and hope that James Skelton was able to catch on to the rear grip of car 86, and he was able to, but it's going to cost Sean Butler one spot. Battle still for the race lead. Jason Wells goes to the outside here, trying to go to the trailer park. Around the outside they go. Side by side. Look at it. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead. Oh, Murdoch almost got sandwiched in between there. Wells shut the door. Murdoch faked high. It's going to be Wells at the line, but here comes Murdoch. Murdoch had a great run off turn number 4. He'll jet down to the inside now in turn number 1, trying to get around Wells. Will he be able to do it off turn number 2? Down the very long back straightaway they come. The momentum stays wound up on the outside for Jason Wells. A very timely block there for the driver of car number 64. So the 64 Wells has it, but look at him slide high at the exit of turn number 4 there. That's going to allow the 51 of DJ Anderson to come back in. Wells going to be able to chop the nose, though, on Murdoch. It'll be Wells at the line. Great racing at the front of this field here tonight. "20 laps completed, and the battle is so hot and heavy at the front of the field, we haven't been able to even work our way through the field." There's Tim Williams trying to get underneath Brandon Feeney. 2 drivers out of Ontario, Canada that are side by side right now. Oh, here goes Tim Williams sliding up the raceway. He'll hang on to it for the time being. Blade Timmons trying to push car number 6 of Chris Hammett up to the back end of those 2 Canadians that are battling. Murdoch going to slide high. That's the battle inside the top 5. Murdoch slides high. He had a run down into turn number 1. Slid high and lost all grip to that 0-1 machine. He'll fall now back to 5th. One car a little sideways. That was the Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 of Ryan O'Donnell, driver out of Canton, Michigan. He's been into the wall, definitely into the wall off turn 2 there. Zach Mitchell, we talked about his woes with car number 24. About coming into the night and needing to have a good run and then getting caught up in the first 2 caution flags of the evening. He's back there running 17th now, so he's gained all the way, looks like about 13 spots since we went back racing. Tim Williams still working the inside here on Brandon Feeney. Is he sideways that time off too? He'll take the spot though, so great driving. Be able to drift car number 45 of Tim Williams. Feeney looking like with those 2 tires, he is starting to fade here on the longer run, so possibly trying something out here to see if it's going to work later on here in this race or not. So Feeney also going to lose the spot there. It looks like there goes the number 6 of Chris Hammett. So Hammett will take over the 9th position. Here comes Dalton Williamson. And we joked with Dalton before we came live here tonight. It seems like when he comes on to the show here on Monday night, he has the worst luck you could ever wish for. So tonight he is going to try to prove us all wrong and have a good, strong finish here with car number 61. On Thursday nights, almost unstoppable. Monday nights, man, it's like his kryptonite to get off the short tracks. So maybe with this car here tonight where you really have to wheel and deal it, maybe he'll have himself a good show. Right now, he is doing pretty solid. He's up 8 spots from where he qualified tonight, up into the top 10. Timmons back there. He's trying to get around Feeney. 2 race car drivers of the real world side of things battling it out. Tim Combs right there also. He's got the Pepsi Challenger machine, number 17 to the outside. Dave Bragg also trying to brag up a little bit. He'll get into the back of Feeney. He'll punt Feeney down to the apron. He'll be into the grass. Goes that Liquid Molly, number 38. Brandon Feeney trying to still gather it up sideways. That car was pointed back into the traffic. And he held on to it. Brandon Feeney going to hold on to that number 38 machine. So he hangs on to it like DJ Anderson hangs on to the race lead, but the question is, for how long? Wells had it, DJ took it back, and now Wells to the outside. He's got the 86. Now Skelton working down to the inside here. The race off 4 will have DJ Anderson coming back to the line first. James Skelton, Sean Butler, Jason Wells, Richard Murdoch, Max Terrill, and Michael Trevarthen. So your top 7 have broken away from the rest of the field. That's Tim Williams back there leading the second group of cars with Chris Hammett, Dalton Williamson, and Blade Timmons. Great battle, though. Look at them as they're up here. Murdoch, remember, he was leading at one point and has fallen back to 6th at one point. Now he's back up to running in 5th as he gets around the 42 of Max Terrill. This time by, we will complete lap number 27. 8 out of the top 10 drivers you see tonight on the timing and scoring are in blue in the top 10. That represents drivers that are in the championship chase, and right now the 2 drivers that are having a terrible time out there. There's the 62 of Ethan Troutman. The driver out of Tennessee would really like to see a caution flag here tonight at Michigan to try to hopefully catch him back up. Another one of those drivers that have had some problems, there's the Hot Wheels, number 11 of Sean Single. Remember, both those 2 drivers spun down to the inside after making contact with the 43 of Joe Strano. So they're just trying and hoping to stay on the lead lap and hope that a caution flag would come out here pretty soon. Blade Timmons getting pushed around. There's the 4 of Souza, and he comes in. Well, he said he's trying to make it to the Pro Series, the Coca-Cola iRacing Pro Series, and, well, he says he's not going as a race car driver, but the talent that he's had in the last couple of seasons here with Red Light Racing, we think he can do it. There you see that 4 car being scored into the 12th position right now for Jeffrey Souza. Joe Strano is sitting there in the 13th spot. Zach Mitchell has worked his way back into 14th now. Call him the man on a mission here tonight. Nothing's changed for P number 1, but it is Sean Butler now being scored into second. So Butler following his teammate there of DJ Anderson. He's got James Skelton there, Jason Wells, Max Terrell, Murdoch back to running 7th. Trevarthen is now 6th. Last time by at the line, your top 3 cars of Anderson, Butler, and Skelton all ran identical times, 43.55 second laps. That was not the fastest lap time. The fastest lap time last time by, though, was by that 64. Wells, he was the fastest car on the Speedway. He had the courtesy of having that draft from those 3 cars out ahead of him, so maybe the draft playing a bigger factor than we thought here with the 1987 Winston Cup machines here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. These drivers here tonight, once again, in the first race of the chase. 14 drivers. See that fan blowing down at the feet of Jason Wells. You see how, you hear him actually. You hear him. You see the hand movement on the wheel. The big old bus steering wheel here in these cars. Driver to pit road. It looks like that is the 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He'll come to pit road here early. He is one of those drivers that always like to get themselves off sequence here, as he is coming in exactly at the halfway point home here tonight. So he'll pit out of the 12th position at the time of him coming to pit road. Pretty much single file. I say pretty much, but that's because the 64 of Wells is to the outside here trying to get that quarter panel draft there on James Skelton. There you see how far out your lead pack is there. Richard Murdoch, the final car in that lead group. There is the second group. Chris Hammett, Dalton Williamson, Tim Williams, Blade Timmons, a couple of those Rev Esports drivers lined up there running 9th, 10th, and 11th. Williams got a great run that time off turn 2. He'll pull up to the back there of that number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Not able to do anything with it by the time he got back down into corner number 3. Battle for the race lead, though. Here comes the 88. Sean Butler trying to take the race lead here. He'll pull down to the inside at the line. Give it to Sean Butler, so he'll be our 4th leader of the night. Murdoch, Wells, Skelton, DJ Anderson, and Sean Butler. So that's actually the 5th leader. Actually, correction. Put another tally mark in a driver that has led a lap. Still 2x2 up here for 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the timing and scoring. Max Terrell just kind of back there, trying to figure out who's going to go where. Hear him now. He's really able to open up the pipes. They're going to go 3 wide in front of him. The 64 of Wells got a great run as the 88 of Sean Butler's going to give up the race lead out of 4. It'll go back to DJ Anderson. Look at Wells now. He'll take the Alienware Chevrolet to the outside. See if he can get it to stick. The Flowertown Animal Hospital, number 86, a Skelton down around the bottom side. More drivers coming to pit road. Tim Combs came to pit road, and he got his service, and he is down and away. Look at him. They are 2 by 2 by 2 here at the front of the field. I thought we left Talladega last week, but man, here tonight, you would swear these 1987 Winston Cup machines are right back at the Talladega Super Speedway. Pack racing at the front of the field here tonight. More drivers now electing to come to pit road here. The 6 of Hammett will lead a slew of cars. Hammett, Williamson, Joe Strano, Mitchell, Minto, Bianchi, Higgins, and Edwards all coming down. Can't make it from this point, I do not believe, on the fuel, so they will have to pit at least one more time here. Last time these drivers came down pit road, I'm doing the math, and let's see what your race leader does. They came down on lap number 9, and here comes the race leader. So DJ Anderson going to really brake hard, and the 86 of Skelton going to make a mistake. He's going to collect the 42. Max Terrio around on pit road after getting into it with the 86 of James Skelton. Skelton came in hot, and now the 42 going to lose a ton of time as he came to enter pit road. Had to spin the car around. Watch everybody come to pit road. There you see the 86 lose control. The 42 just nowhere to go. Has to turn it around. Right on board with Max Terrio. You see Skelton getting down there, throwing sparks everywhere. Tried to miss him, and around he's going to go. Look at Michael Trevarthen. Very good awareness of where to go. Crazy entry to pit road. We'll see how that's all going to shake out here once we get the green flag pit cycle in. But now look who's back at the top, or for the first time here tonight, actually, Tony Strano. Mom loves him more, he says, and right now he is out front. It was probably his fault, which is what happened down on pit road. I think this time it does look like the number 3 of Strano will come to pit road. So Tony going to bring it down. That'll leave now just, I believe, one driver that we're waiting on to come to pit road. There's the Castrol, number 184, the driver out of Australia. And it's not Roger the Kangaroo. This is Kevin O'Brien coming to pit road. So O'Brien coming to pit road. He'll be the final driver to hit pit road here under the green flag pit cycle. When it all comes back through, it'll be these drivers as they flash under the flag stand. It'll be DJ Anderson back to the point here tonight. Jason Wells, Sean Butler, 1, 2, and 3. And it has really shaken up that front group. Remember, it was 7 cars. Well, your 3 cars are still together. Anderson, Wells, and Butler all separated by just about a second. And then James Skelton is way back here, about 4 seconds back, kind of sitting in the no man's land right now, all by himself with his Chevrolet. There you see your front 3, and then that big gap. There is no draft all the way back there to James Skelton. He is now, at this point, going to have to drive the wheels off to catch those front 3. And then back here, the battle for the 5th spot. Here comes Murdoch. Murdoch, remember, came down pit road on lap number 37, where Souza, who you see him, and his Underbird, number 4, he came down 6 laps prior. So older tires on car number 4 for Jeffrey Souza, and he will fall back 1 spot to Richard Murdoch. Souza is the biggest mover, though, through that green flag pit cycle. He was able to pick up a number of spots. Remember, he came in running in the 12th spot. He will cycle back through running in the 6th position here on lap number 40. Zach Mitchell is rebounding very nicely. He is 1 spot out of the top 10 now as he approaches the back bumper there, the 43 and the 45. So that's Williams in the 45 being scored 9th, while Joe Strano is sitting there in the 10th spot. Mitchell is actually faster than both the cars out ahead of him, so we'll see if he can run them down and if he can advance his spot into the top 10. Long green flag runs here as there's the battle for the race lead. Wells well off the pace down on the bottom side of the speedway. He's going to tuck back in line there. I wonder if that is a ploy, if that's a strategy here. We've seen Jason Wells really pull strategy before here on Monday night, but we've also seen Sean Butler deploy fuel-saving strategies. Right now, Jason Wells was off the pace down the front straightaway last time. Tucks in line. We'll see if he utilizes the draft here. Maybe he's thinking he's going to try to go the rest of the way on the tank of fuel and pull out an exciting finish here. trying to just nurse her home here. So that gap that was 4 seconds is down to about 3 3/4 seconds now for Skelton. And maybe that's because Wells kind of took the momentum of those top 3 drivers away and was able to allow him to close in about a quarter of a second. So we'll see if that continues to roll. Look how far back Richard Murdoch is, though. He has 13 seconds back. And remember, we talked about the 42 having the problems coming to pit road. Where is Max Terrett? Where does he cycle back out? He'll come out into the 15th position. Came in running 5th, leaves pit road in 15th, and he has nobody around him. He does have Brandon Minto out in front of him with that Buffalo Wild Wings number 5, the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. There you see that Chevrolet come into the picture there. Well, out of the brotherly love of the Minto household, Brandon Minto right now is beating his brother Travis Minto. There's the Donut Media number 19. So Travis currently back there running into the 16th position. DJ Anderson still the race leader with 22 laps to go, and they are closing in on lap traffic. Chris Hammett, who had a pit road penalty, he has now gone a lap down. Joshua Buckley has gone a lap down. One car into the outside wall. I believe that's the Kevin O'Brien car. There is the 184 Kevin O'Brien. He was into the wall out of turn number 2, able to gather it back up and keeps it going. He's right ahead of car number 11. That is Sean Single, the Hot Wheels number 11. He's being scored back into the 27th position. 27th for one of the championship chase contenders. 28th for Chris Hammett. Those two championship drivers are going to have to really kick it up a notch if they can't catch a break here yet tonight. Wells down to the bottom side as you see Butler back there. Sean Single will take over the 26th spot from Kevin O'Brien, so that'll be a spot change back there. Here is Max Terrell getting around the number 5 of Brandon Minto, so he'll set sail, picking up another spot for Max Terrell. Kevin O'Brien down out of the race leader's way. He'll hold the apron. The race leaders, your front 3, will get around him and keep going. Sean Single does not want to give up that spot that he has right now. He does not want to let the race leader of DJ Anderson get around him. If he does get around him, he wants to be able to stay right there with those top 3 drivers because that would put him in a lucky dog position. Here comes the race leader now. DJ Anderson will go straight to the bottom side of the speedway. So that will put the 11 of Sean Single. He didn't put up much of a fight. Now hopefully he can just stay there because they're closed up on Philly Edwards here. In just a couple of laps, he would be the next car up the speedway. Where is Philly Edwards right now? Well, there he is. Him and Bob Higgins along with Joshua Buckley running right there nose to tail. There you see that Labatt's number 973 of Philly Edwards. Comes in as a rookie this season. Did not make the championship chase. Still has competed in every race this season as a rookie. You come in as a rookie and you come here on Monday night and you really want to have some fun with the boys. Monday night is racing for the boys, that's for sure, here on the iRacing.com simulator. And Philly Edwards says as long as he can come out here, have a good time, crack a couple jokes, he's having a good time. And that's exactly what he was doing in the pre-race lobby. I'm sure he's cracking a couple of those Labatts too. That old hipster out there, sitting into the 25th position. Another car coming to pit road there, though. That is Blade Timmons. There you see right side tires going on the Rev Esports 923. Timmons is one of those drivers that is in the championship chasing a change for the race lead. Also here on lap with 18 laps to go, actually. That's on lap number 46. That will actually go to Sean Butler now as the race leader. So some drivers will possibly take one more pit stop here tonight. Talked about James Skelton possibly catching your race leaders. He has lifted off the throttle last time by. He was about 0.3 of a second slower than your front 3 drivers. So maybe he's just out here. Maybe he's decided he has a huge gap back to Murdoch. Maybe he's just going to go ahead and try and run this one out on the fuel that is in that Flowertown Animal Hospital number 86. So here's your favorite driver running right now. Well, it's Sean Butler out front with DJ Anderson in second. Wells is still hanging with the top three. He's now back to running third, though, for the last 7 laps. Kind of just hanging out, trying to pull that car around with the draft. Then it's James Skelton, Richard Murdoch. There is Michael Trevarthen. He is sitting in the 7th spot. Jeffrey Souza is sitting there in 7th, while Tim Williams is back in 8th. Dalton Williamson is 9th, and Joe Strano rounds out the top 10. But boy, does he have company. And that company comes with rainbows on the side of that number 24. That is Zach Mitchell. One car going around down the back straightaway. Tim Williams has lost it out of turn number 2. He'll lock up the brakes and try and keep it out of the wall. He will, but he is off the racing surface, so there won't be a caution flag. I don't believe the driver out of Canada now, who was running inside the top 10 after a very strong finish last week at the Talladega Super Speedway, who finished in 3rd for the first time ever. He will now have to gather his car back up and see where he will rejoin the racing surface. He's already outside the top 20 and still falling. He'll rejoin, and it does look like it'll be 21st for Tim Williams. Drivers are coming down pit roads. There is the Tim Combs machine. He comes down pit road. Brandon Minto was also just down pit road. Tim Williams will come to pit road here and service that car. Maybe some flat-spotted tires, so he doesn't want to roll around the speedway all that much. Car going around, I'm being told it's the Bob Higgins entry. He'll get it to pit road, so he'll join those drivers on pit road as Sean Butler continues to lead here with just 15 laps to go. It's Butler, it's Anderson, it's Wells, and Wells has now started to slip back just a little bit from the top 2. Trevarthen going to get trapped behind the number 5 there of Brandon Minto. Minto just came out of pit road with those Buffalo Wild Wings. So that spot was the Ford of Souza for a moment. Now Souza going to have to fall back behind that Ford Thunderbird there of Michael Trevarthen. As you can tell how much tires really mean. Sean Single will come to pit road in car number 11, so he'll give up that spot. See where he cycles back through. So drivers that are having nights that they really need something to happen here. Blade Timmons, Chris Hammett, and Sean Single. Max Terrell has climbed back into the top 15. He's now running currently into the 11th spot after we are under another possible green flag pit cycle. Max sitting currently, it looks like about 3 seconds or so behind the 10th place car of Zach Mitchell. So Mitchell has a really good size lead over that 11th place runner. Ryan O'Donnell in that Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 is back there running into the 12th spot. Drivers coming to pit road. Here comes that number 2. This is Michael Trevarthen coming to pit road. He'll drag the 24 of Mitchell and Souza to pit road. So a couple drivers inside the top 10 here electing to make a pit stop. They're going to bring Bruce Potter also to pit road. Will your race leaders elect to come to pit road? Sean Butler, DJ Anderson do not. Here comes Wells. Wells will bring the Alienware number 64 to pit road. He'll give up 3rd with just 12 laps to go. Maybe he thinks tires and a splash of fuel here will make the difference in this race. They still have 2 sets of tires down in their pit stalls if they were to need them here tonight at Michigan. So Wells will use 1. Here comes Joe Strano. He'll give up the 8th spot. So the STP number 43 of Joe Strano coming to pit road. The driver out of Wisconsin having another good run here tonight. Race leader of Sean Butler, DJ Anderson. What do? 2 team cars running 1 and 2 right now with that Alliance machine back there running in 3rd. $11 laps to go for the race leaders. James Skelton will bring down the Flowertown Animal Hospital number 86. And I believe he's going to bring another driver with him. I believe that is Richard Murdoch. Murdoch coming from the 4th position to pit road. So things really shaking up very quickly here. Chris Hammett back down pit road. I think that's an unscheduled stop for Chris Hammett. One driver around and having big problems. That's the Donut Media. Number 19, Travis Minto has had problems coming to pit road. The left front tire is ripped off that car. So Travis Minto having problems. Here comes DJ Anderson. Anderson will pit from second now. I'm being told this is what happened to the 19. There's Minto. He loses it coming off 4. Noses it hard into the wall. Gets it stopped. Throws it in reverse. Keeps it off the racetrack. So the iRacing officials here tonight will stay green here tonight. Sean Butler did not pit yet with 10 to go. Will he pit is what everybody will be thinking. Remember, the 86 was sitting in third. He came to pit road. That's James Skelton. He's right there, right ahead of your race leader. Nine to go as Butler stays out onto the racetrack. It's Sean Butler, Dalton Williamson sitting in second. Max Terriel is third. Ryan O'Donnell is sitting in fourth. Rob Higgins, the Cowboy, is sitting in fifth. Tony Strano is back there. He's gained 24 spots here tonight. He is sitting back in sixth. Here comes Dalton Williamson and Max Terriel. They are coming to pit road. They cannot make it to the end of this one. They will drag Ryan O'Donnell also to pit road. So the answer is Max Terriel can't make it. Rob Higgins will stay out in his checkered flag auto supply number 40 machine. So he will keep rolling around the speedway. Remember, Jason Wells came to pit road on lap number 53. Well, he is back to running third now after everything has either started to cycle through. Sean Butler still out onto the racetrack. He is working down the back straightaway right now. He's got the 59. That is Bruce Potter coming up on the back of him. Potter is being scored back in 29th position. A handful of laps down. It looks like 5 laps down currently. One driver to pit road. That is the Rob Higgins entry. You see him diving down onto pit road right now. Sean Butler will take another one off the board. Butler still has his foot in at about 190 miles an hour all by himself out there. Let's listen to the throttle here with Sean Butler. Sounds like he's being very ginger down the back straightaway here. Lifts early into turn number 3. Let's see how far he's going to let this one coast. A little gas there to get it to turn, and you hear it, that transmission here whining away with that motor, trying to just stay under a certain RPM. 6 laps to go, and he has a 32-second race lead right now. It's Butler, it's Wells, it's DJ Anderson sitting there in third. Dave Bragg right now. How about Bragg and that Jiffy Lube entry? He is sitting fourth, and he also is one of those drivers who has yet to come to pit road. Only 6 drivers on the lead lap. Butler, Wells, Anderson, Bragg, Skelton, and Troutman. 6 drivers on the lead lap with 6 laps to go. Wells and Anderson close here on the speedway. Closest battle for position right now. They're battling for second. Wells has it. Here comes Anderson, though. Anderson going to have a good run off turn 2. He'll be looking down the back straightaway to see if he can get to the inside. There he goes. He steps out of line. There's the 3 of Tony Strano back there. So now Wells will take the inside, or the outside, forcing Anderson down to the bottom side. He'll take the spot. 5 to go this time by. It's 4.5 laps for Sean Butler. Does he have enough in the tank? He's about 7 miles an hour slower that time entering turn number 3. Will he come to pit road? 1 car coming to pit road. Here comes the 88. Butler not going to be able to make it on fuel. He'll have to charge pit road heavy. That's the 62 in front of him. Also coming to pit road, that is Ethan Troutman. No mistakes here needed for Sean Butler. It's just going to be fuel and go, I do believe, because just as he crosses the line, 4 laps to go here in Michigan. What a race we have had. Where is the second place and third place car? There you see the 88 is in his pit stall. There they come off turn number 4. Storming out of turn 4. Sean Butler is down and away. He's already leaving pit road with the 88. Where is the second and third place cars? There they are. They're going to enter turn 1. They come into the picture frame. There's the Mountain Dew machine. There is the green Alienware number 64. Will Butler be able to get up to speed? He's about 10 miles an hour slower right now. Here comes the turbo-democratical pace of Ryan O'Donnell. He'll work the outside of the Speedway. It is going to be a 3-horse race for the race lead. Butler getting out just in front of your second and third place runner. There you are. You see him. There's the 88 of Butler. He is now up the full song and dance. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by at the line. 3 laps to go. As Tim Williams has had a problem on the raceway, but we stay green for the time being. There goes Sean Butler. He'll put Ryan O'Donnell between him and the second place car of DJ Anderson as they work into turn number 1. Anderson looking like he's going to catch Ryan O'Donnell in a pretty good spot here. Actually, no, he's not. He's not going to be able to clear the 98, but Sean Butler also pretty slow that time off turn number 2. That's going to allow the 51 of DJ Anderson, who kind of got trapped behind Ryan O'Donnell, to stay kind of right there with him, still within striking distance. Popsicle sticks going up. This time by, it'll be 2 laps to go for Sean Butler. He's the race leader, has about 0.3 of a second right now over second place of DJ Anderson. Jason Wells a half a second back there. He's kind of trapped and buried in lap traffic, still trying to make his way around. Win and you advance. That's all you have to do. It is that simple. And with 2 laps to go, it's 3 horses at the front of the field. It is only going to come down to Butler, Anderson, and Wells, and a bunch of lap cars here that are kind of mingled in with the race leaders. This time by, we will see the white flag displayed here for the 88 of Sean Butler. 1 lap to go, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. It's the final trip around the Speedway. Wells has started to fade. Now it is coming down to just the 2 horses at the front. Is it going to be the 88, the all-time winningest driver in red light? He'll leave the bottom side open. Here comes DJ Anderson. They're going to drag race down the back straightaway. Anderson's got his Ford to the inside of that Chevrolet. He'll take the race lead into turn number 3 on the final trip around the Speedway. Sean Butler may be running out of fuel as he entered turn number 3. He'll mount one final charge out of turn 4. It won't be good enough out of turn 4 as long as he has enough fuel. It will be DJ Anderson picking up the win here at Michigan. Anderson across the line, followed by Sean Butler, then Jason Wells, who will finish 3rd. Here comes the Flowertown Animal Hospital. 4th for James Skelton. He'll stumble across the line and finish. How about a 5th place finish? Looking like it might be. Here comes Souza, though. Souza is closing in on the back of the 38 of Feeney, but it will be Brandon Feeney picking up his first career top 5 on Monday night. He'll finish 5th. Souza across in 6th. Then it's going to be Richard Murdoch in 7th. Michael Trevarthen back in 8th. Max Terriot rallies back for a 9th place finish. And Dalton Williamson. Blade Timmons, then Dalton Williamson, Joe Strano, Brandon Minto, Dave Bragg, Zach Mitchell, Tim Combs, Ryan O'Donnell, Brian Bianchi, Rob Higgins, and Ethan Troutman round out the top 10. Your winner going to come down here and be able to do some victory donuts with his Mountain Dew Baja Blast Ford Thunderbird. The driver out of Virginia gonna burn it down here tonight. He will pick up the win. DJ Anderson celebrating because he knows he will now be on to the round of 8. He is the only driver that will lock in here tonight at Michigan. Couple drivers having some rough ones. Sean Single, Chris Hammett way down on the boards along with Troutman and Mitchell. They will go into next week well behind the 8 ball. So as DJ Anderson celebrates here on the front straightaway with his Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here to Michigan for your post-race show for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Michigan International Raceway. The 1987 cars on the old Michigan track here tonight on the iRacing.com platform, playing host to the first round of the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing in the playoffs. And what a race it was. It came down to fuel mileage, along with some tires, and, well, maybe a couple lap cars sprinkled in. Let's head down trackside to talk to the only driver that is officially locked in to the next round of the playoffs. DJ Anderson, you played the fiddle right here tonight. You were able to take tires late in this one with some fuel and play that strategy perfect to get around Sean Butler.
Yeah. We were debating fuel only there, and when Sean got around me, I kind of thought, man, the only way I'm going to beat him is if I get a good pit stop or if I take a gamble. And I figured, what the hell, 2 tires, worst I might finish is 3rd. Maybe get Jason at the end there because I know he pitted before us, but I did not expect it to work out as good as it did. And shout out to Ryan for definitely making it challenging for me and then making it exciting for the broadcast. He kind of pushed my pass on Sean by 1 lap, and thankfully I was able to get him and pass him on that last lap. But it was fun, clean racing, and Need for Speed 1, 2, and 4. I said it when I made the win at Kansas that I think this is a momentum builder, and here it is, momentum builder, first race, and locked myself in. It's fucking awesome.
So you lock yourself in here tonight on one of the cars that everybody says they absolutely hate to drive here on iRacing. We think it puts on great racing action. What do you think? Maybe a little more love now for the 1987 car?
I've always had a love-hate relationship depending on the track, but I always felt this car really brought out the best drivers because these things are a handful to drive. And hats off to all the old school racers that really drove these things. They're a handful, and they're a hell of a lot of fun. And the setup was a little tight on this track, but made it work and came out with a win with it, so I'm happy.
So you come out with a win, you won't have to worry about going to Las Vegas and rolling the dice to see if you can get into the next round. You're officially locked in. You can set your sights from the oldest car on the sim to the newest car. The NASCAR Next Gen is where the first round or the first race of the round of 8 will be. Are we already set in Phoenix at this point?
To me, I felt this first round was going to be easy for me. 2 tracks I run really good at, 2 car and truck that I run really good at. The second round is the one that I'm a little bit hit or miss on, so it's nice to be able to relax and breathe so I can get my practice in for round 2.
Well, you did it here tonight. You locked in. You can take a sigh of relief and go chug one of those Mountain Dew Baja Blast, that's for sure. The red carpet's going to roll out here once again for you, DJ. The microphone is yours. Who do you got to thank here tonight that made it all possible to lock yourself in to the round of 8?
Oh, first off, I got to thank you for doing this. I love going back and watching it, and that last lap's going to make the broadcast interesting there. And Red Light, these guys are fun to race list, and my team, we work hard together, and it shows. Finishing in the top 4. So now next week it's going to be try to get Sean or James a win next week and try to get us moving through, and hopefully 3 of us can be in that final 4 at the end of the season, go for a championship.
Well, they have a strong team and a strong car already locked into the next round of the playoffs. DJ Anderson, the driver out of Virginia, will pick up the win here tonight in Michigan for the first race of the chase. So congratulations to DJ and his crew. They'll be already on their way to Phoenix to compete in the next round. Who finishes second, though? Well, man, how about it, Sean Butler? Maybe a little bit of disappointment there as you got passed on the final lap. It looked like you were going to play the strategy and go all the way on fuel. What brought you to pit road?
Lack of fuel. I see my teammate pit, and I was like, should I pit and take tires? I didn't know what he was doing, and I assumed that's what he was doing, but I honestly didn't think he would make up 7 seconds of, taking tires, because I was only there for 3 seconds. So hats off to him for that strategy call. It worked out great for him. Nice solid run for us tonight. That's all we needed, and that's what I plan on doing next week. Nice solid run. Get us through to round 2, and then really try to race out and try to get the championship 4.
Yeah, next week, you can already chalk this one up to a good points night. You will leave second in the points in the chase, so that's good to know. But what do you think? You got to go gambling when you go to Las Vegas, and you go from these high horsepower, out of control 1987 cars to the little less horsepower and a lot of downforce with the Gander Outdoor truck when we go to that 1.5 miles out there in the desert.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully they're not as bad as like the A cars when it comes to the draft and the low horsepower package and all that craziness that produces. These things, the trucks will be a pretty fun race. I think it'll separate out, and I just look forward to, like I said, another solid night. I don't need to do anything crazy. I got good points today, so another solid night, and I'll be good to go in round 2. But yeah, just waiting to see what happens for Phoenix. That's the one I'm worried about next. Like DJ, that's round 2. That Phoenix Raceway is a little odd with that ZL1. So
we look forward to seeing you next week at Las Vegas, and then to see if you can lock into the round of 8. Who do you got to thank back home in Ohio?
I just got to thank my teammates, like DJ was saying. We worked on strategy all week and doing a official race with this car at Michigan. It was actually this week, and got some ideas there. And then you for doing the broadcast. It's always fun watching it, and thanks to the admins for throwing on these races and letting us come out here and have fun. And congrats to DJ for the win and Jason for a nice solid strategy with us.
There you hear it. Sean Butler going to take home second after leading a bunch of laps here tonight. He'll finish P number 2 and take the points and run off to Las Vegas. Sitting in third, though, Wells. Well, it looked like you were going to have a very strong car to compete at the end of this one, but all of a sudden, with about 7 or 8 laps to go, you started to fade.
Yeah, I got to really stop pitting early because it just never seems to work out for me.
Well, it looked there for a while like it was going to work out. What was the strategy play there? You came out of pit road on that final actual true sequence of pit stops before that long run at the end of this one, and then you kind of pulled over. DJ Anderson and Sean Butler both went right around you.
Well, I took a shot at DJ going into 1. Maybe hoped that he would cook it in a little bit too far and maybe take some life out of that right front. And when I knew I didn't get a good enough run, I was like, there's no sense. I'll just back off and fall in line. And following them, I kind of got the idea that, maybe I was a little bit better on the longer run. So if I could pit early, maybe by the time they caught me, we could be equalized. But again, I got to stop thinking that because it never seems to work.
Well, it may not have seemed to work for the race win here tonight, but a third place finish gonna look pretty good when you tally up all the points after this one.
I came here to win tonight. I love this car. But yeah, you're right. Next week in the truck, it's kind of iffy. It's almost like it starts out like a restrict plate race, I think. So anything can happen. So coming out here with good solid points will maybe help me get into the next round.
Well, a good run for you nonetheless. That is definitely for sure here tonight. Well, Wells, who makes this all possible, and we are sorry to inform you that this is the final time we will run the 1987 Winston Cup machine this season.
I know. Well, first of all, let's thank the title sponsor, Checkered Flag Auto Supply. It's a great sponsor for the league. They do a tremendous help for us, and it's just a ton of fun to be out here racing with these guys. Congratulate DJ on the win, Sean on second place. For I couldn't believe he didn't take tires and we didn't blow right by him. But good strategy by them, and you for putting on a great broadcast. I look forward to watching them.
There you hear it from your third place finisher here tonight. Jason Wells was able to lead a couple laps, but in the end, it was only good enough for a third place finish. You heard from DJ Anderson, who picks up the win here tonight. Sean Butler will finish second. Jason Wells was third. Fourth, though, he was sitting, well, about 9 seconds back here tonight. That was James Skelton. And then a couple more seconds back, 13 seconds behind your race leader of DJ Anderson after he came across the line, Brandon Feeney. He may be the headliner after tonight's race here tonight at Michigan, picking up his first ever top 5 with Red Light Racing. It's been a handful of seasons since, well, he's dropped that number 9 in front of his 38 in his rookie campaign, and tonight it will pay off here at Michigan. He finishes 5th while Jeffrey Souza rebounds to pick up 13 spots, and he is the biggest mover and shaker of the race. That number 4 picked up 13 spots to finish in the 6th spot. Richard Murdoch will fall to 7th here at the end of this one. Michael Trevarthen rallies for 8th. Max Terry, you talk about a man, well, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck as of late here on iRacing. He came in the 6th spot onto pit road. He left 15th. He will finish in 9th here tonight, so a good rebound for him. Blade Timmons was 10th, and a couple of your notable drivers that are going to have to really dig down deep. Well, how about Chris Hammond, who finishes back in 23rd? Sean Single was 22nd here tonight. Ethan Troutman, you saw his woes. He'll finish 20th. Those drivers will have to go into next week at Las Vegas and hope to pick up a win in the desert. But boy, what a race it was. DJ Anderson going to victory lane here tonight. We got to thank all the race fans that stuck around and watched here tonight at Michigan. We also got to thank the Checkered Flag Auto Supply coming on board this season with Red Light Racing as the title sponsor here for the Scrambler Series. So for everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here at Michigan, and we hope to catch you at Las Vegas when we take the Gander Outdoor Trucks there for the final race of round number 1. Till we see you there, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you at the races.